Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Exceptional People. I'm Will McLean, your host, and today we're talking about emotional intelligence in the testing season. On this podcast, I hope to bring you stories of curiosity, leadership, entrepreneurship, intelligence, humanity, all of those things. But when I came back to work this week after spring break, I knew we were getting into testing season, and the meetings, though, just kind of hit a little bit different this time. So today, I wanted to talk about how do we keep emotional intelligence present during these high stakes testing seasons. So in Virginia, we call them SOLs or standards of learning. But whatever you call them, let's just be honest, this time of year can be stressful. This is not going to be an opinion on the number of tests that we give or the frequency with which we give them. This is just going to be how we can keep ourselves and our students present during this season. All right. So we know that testing can be a tense time. Students are anxious, teachers are nervous, teachers are worried about scores, schools are worried about scores, administrators are fully clinched. In a very short period of time, testing season can become very tense, very stressful, very anxious. So that's exactly why emotional intelligence has to be present, and not as some, thing that's nice to have around your building during testing season. That's more critical now than at any other point in your year, maybe, some would argue. So how do we actually keep emotional intelligence present? Since it's not some out-of-the-box thing that we can just pop out and tell teachers to do, it really is recognizing moments of humanity that pop up just in our day anyway. So the first thing that you can do is by checking in on yourself first. As soon as you park in the parking lot, before you go in the building, take a few breaths and take a few kind of check-in points. How is my family? How are relationships with my friends? Do I have financial stress right now? Did I forget to cut the yard this weekend? All of those things translate into your heart and mind, and students pick up on that stuff immediately. All right. So you have to be the model because kids can feel your energy and kids will respond. Emotional intelligence starts with you. The second thing that we can do is normalize our emotions out loud. When you say, hey, I'm feeling nervous today. You feeling nervous today? Totally normal if you are. Or, hey, this is a pretty anxious environment if we let it be, right? When you validate emotions, when you give names to your emotions, you give them space for focus. You give them space to breathe, to be talked about, to be acknowledged. And then all of a sudden, they don't wrap up our brains and take up all the cognitive load that we need to be putting towards the academic pursuit. And the last thing that I think we can do, and people like me in administration need to listen, is empathy over efficiency. Yes, we have a testing schedule. Yes, the testing system can feel rigid. But at the end of the day, these are human beings sitting in front of us. If a student needs a second to take a breath, give them a second to take a breath. Breathe with them. If they look overwhelmed, offer them empathy. Go breathe with them. Right? That one small act of kindness or that one moment of recognizing humanity throughout the day can decrease all of that anxiety, decrease all of that stress, and bring back the cognitive load to the students that we need. So focusing on emotional intelligence during SOL or during standardized testing season, it's not about adding an unnatural gimmick to the testing environment. It really is about remembering, again, those small moments of humanity that we have throughout the day. Be the adult in the room. Be the calm. Be the patience. Be the compassion in your building. Because at the end of the day, test scores are going to come and go. But our students' maturation, the way students feel about themselves, their emotional development, that's linear and it keeps going long after they leave our buildings. So thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. If this hits home, please leave a few comments, find us on LinkedIn, and share it with a colleague. If you need a little bit of extra networking this week, this would be a great place to start because we are all in testing season and we are all, whether we like it or not, going to start feeling that anxiety. So keep emotional intelligence present in your classroom, be the model, and I promise you'll see good things happening around you. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Love yourselves, love the ones who love you, and love the ones who don't.